Hey there, in this video, I want to talk a little bit about CANI, which stands for Continuous and Never-Ending Improvement. A different twist on CANI, if you're in corporate America or have a job, you've probably heard of continuous improvement. You've probably experienced continuous improvement in some way, shape, or form from your quality department or from a quality professional, or you just know and have been told that we should always be learning and growing and getting better. I want to talk today about personal continuous improvement and continuous improvement in our own lives. I like to every once in a while sit down and do a little personal inventory, I call it. And I take and I look at different aspects of my life, all the different aspects of my life, different categories. I categorize it and I say, well, where am I right now on a scale of 1 to 10? And where do I want to be on a scale of 1 to 10? So if I'm looking at my financial goals and objectives, where am I right now on a scale of 1 to 10, and where do I want to be? Well, on any of these things, I of course want to be a 10 because 10 is ideal, awesome, absolutely everything I want is how I define a 10. And nothing, 0, starting from scratch would be a 0 or a 1. And I guess sometimes I rate things a 0. For example, right after my sudden cardiac arrest, I would have to rate my health like a 0 or a 0.5 because I was dead. And if you're dead, that is a 0 on the health and body physical scale, at least in my definition. So anything above dead would be anything above 0. Anything, the ultimate 100% absolute best physical shape of my possible life and fantasy life would be a 10. So let's look at my health, for example. My health, I rated my health at a 5 because I think I'm pretty average and I'm probably a little above average for health, which is funny given that it's me, Pajama Grandma, but I'm probably a little bit above average in terms of diet, exercise, taking care of myself, paying attention to my health. And, you know, when you have a health scare, you tend to get a little better about that because I would say before that event, I was about a 3, if I was even a 3. That would be probably being very generous with my own estimation of myself. So I do this with my financial situation, with my business. So business would be under finance. For some of it would be your job under finance and financial wealth. And I actually call it financial. I got it written on my boards. Obviously, it's so important. I have it written on my boards twice because I have to do this not only for my business. I do a CANI inventory for my business, but I also do it for me personally. And today we're talking about my personal one. So I look at my wealth situation, money situation. How are things going? 0 to 10 on a scale. And then I also have a monetary number. That's my future goal. What do I want to make a year? Or what do I want to have in the bank? And you can do both. It's up to you. This is a fluid process. So I have where I am right now. Where do I want to be? And it can be, you can make this as complicated as you want. You can say, where do I want to be in a year? Where do I want to be? You could do it monthly. You could do it a year. You could do 5 years. You could do 3 years. You could do 10 years. You could do 20. You could do 100 years. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want to plan out, you can map out and make a scale to do that. But I keep it pretty simple. I'm like, where am I now? Where do I want to be for my annual income for wealth? And I'll do that for different sources of income. So say for example, I have multiple streams of income in my life. If I do, I might have a real estate goal, a real estate wealth number, a real estate business number. I might have my brick and mortar business number. I might have my job number. Whatever you've got in your life, that's what you would look at, and that's the goals that you would set. And so it's kind of like, where am I now and what's my goal? It's kind of like, where am I right now and what's my goal for all of these categories? And again, I say my goal is I always want to be a 10 in each of them. So then the next one I looked at is my health. And I look at not only my body and my physical health, but I also look at my mental health and my emotional health, because we do everything based on emotion. We like to think that we don't, but we totally do. We do everything based on emotion first, and then we justify it with logic and reason or our mind. And so I look at and I score each of the areas where I am right now and where do I want to be. And again, of course, I always want to be a 10 on emotional intelligence, mindset, and mental intelligence, and then my body and my physical health. I want that to be a 10 too. But let's be honest, I am perfectly happy with a 7 or an 8 because some of us are older, and the probability of us having a 10 being in the ultimate physical fitness and shape is pretty unrealistic. And to be honest, it's not even anything I want. I don't want to work that hard. I don't want to be a bodybuilder. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to have to commiserate over absolutely every morsel that I put in my mouth. I want to eat and take care of myself and do things that are really good for me, but I don't want to be super over the top. That's all I think about. That's all I do. Because in the past, I spent years, that was all I thought about, and that's all I did. That's all, 90% of my concentration was on that, and everything else was, the rest of my life. So trying to get a little more balance in these things. The other category I'm going to look at every once in a while when I do my own personal can I inventory, or can I improve, is looking at the area of relationships. I'm going to look at my family relationships, significant other relationships, and my friends' relationships. And I might even add on their business colleagues or social relationships. I could even add a category for social media if I wanted. I don't have one, but I could probably do that if I wanted to inventory and pay attention to that and monitor how I'm doing in those different areas. I could even put each different social media platform that I participate in on there. Again, probably not going to do this. I like to have the big picture overview and then make choices and decisions based on that as far as where I'm going to spend my time and energy to create improvement in that area of my life. The next area I'm going to look at is my spiritual, my being. And this is going to be different for each of us. This might be where you consider your religion, your faith in God, or your faith in whatever it is that you believe in. This is where I consider my higher self and how in tune I am with who I really am as a being and who I am as a good human being. So I kind of rate myself on how am I doing as a good human being, and how am I continually learning and improving so that I can be a better human being. The next category that I look at is contribution. What am I contributing to my family, my friends and social interactions, and what am I contributing to the world as a whole? And I rate that on a scale of 1 to 10, 0 being I'm not doing a dang thing for anybody. I'm not even, I also add myself, because I don't know about you, but in the past I've had a tendency to put myself last, not pay attention to myself, and not take care of myself, which is why I have to rate things like my health and my physical well-being and exercise in the first place. So contribution, how am I contributing to my own well-being? How am I contributing to others that I know, love, and care about? And how am I contributing to the world? So if you have a job, that might be, how am I contributing to my business colleagues? How am I contributing to making the work environment a better place? Again, you're going to tweak this to make it work for you. And the last area of my life that I like to look at and think about continuously improving is what I call experiences. Am I searching out and having different experiences that are helping me to improve as a person in any of these areas of my life? It might be attending events in my industry. It might be going on vacation. It might be traveling and exploring. It might be just getting out in nature and walking. Whatever kind of experiences I want to have to experience the different types of emotions I want to have in my life. This is where people might consider their bucket list items. So they might put their bucket list items and then check them off as they actually do them. So experience is the last area that I look at. Then another thing I check and touch base with when I'm doing my own personal continuous improvement, like inventory, is I check in with my core values. And am I living consistently with my core values? I ask myself and I list out, what do I stand for? And what do I stand against? What do I believe in? What do I think is wrong? And I compare that to the previous time I did it and said, have there been changes in this? Have I changed my stance or my belief or my core values on anything? I'll tell you, over the last 50 years, I don't think I've changed my core beliefs. My core beliefs are core and central to my being. I believe in love. I believe in impact, making the world a better place. I believe in helping others. I believe in being kind. I believe in doing the best I can with what I've got right now. I believe in truth and honesty. I believe that you should be yourself, no matter what, no matter who you are, and you shouldn't apologize for it. This is who I am. I'm doing the best I can with what I've got right now. That's my core belief, and that everybody else has a right to do that as well. So my core beliefs have pretty much stayed the same. What I stand for and what I stand against, pretty much the same, but every once in a while there'll be a few things that change. For example, when I was younger, I cared a lot about competition and I was very, very competitive. Not so much anymore. I do my thing and let people do theirs. I'm not really very competitive anymore. But in my youth, I was very, very competitive. So I would say that what I stand for and what I believe in with respect to competition has definitely changed. And that will happen as we grow and mature and learn new things. I used to care a lot about politics and get involved in politics and watch TV and the news. I haven't watched the news for over a quarter century for sure, probably a long time, probably longer than that. With the exception of 9/11. I did pop in on the news with everybody else on 9/11. So I hope you found this beneficial. This is just one thing that I do to help my life to be continually moving in an upward spiral. Otherwise, if we're staying the same and nothing's changing, if we're not checking in with where we're at and where we want to be and focusing on where we want to be, we'll just stay the same. We'll stay in this little rut of circular motion and we'll never really go anywhere. And a lot of time, if we're not improving, if we're not trying to do things on purpose to make ourselves a better human being, we're actually deteriorating and getting worse. I found that with my health. When I wasn't doing anything to make my health better, I wasn't paying attention to what I eat. I wasn't paying attention to how I move my body. I wasn't paying attention to my energy and my emotions. All those things combined to create huge health challenges for me over the years. And those health challenges became escalatingly difficult until I woke up, smelled the coffee, and realized, oh, you have to take care of yourself. And I started taking care of myself. I hope you found this helpful. If you did and you would like my worksheet, it's just a little Excel spreadsheet and you can change it and tweak it. And actually I did it in Google Docs. You can change it to whatever you want. If you would like this worksheet to do your own personal continuous improvement inventory, just put #worksheet in the comments below and I will shoot it off to you via Messenger and you can use it and tweak it and change it to make it work for you. But I will tell you, one of the things I found most valuable in my own life is knowing that, you know, if things are to be, they're up to me, and I'm going to be the only one that really cares the most about what I'm doing and what I'm not doing and how my life is working out. So I better be paying attention to where I am and where I want to be, because I always want to be moving toward where I want to be. That's it. Kind of a rambly, interesting, what's she up to now today? But yesterday was one of those days where you have to do a whole lot of stuff that you don't love to do. So I didn't want to talk about that. And today I'll get back into my amazing things I love to do. And I hope you do the same. I will see you tomorrow with another What's She Up To Now? Pajama Grandma out. Bye.